compelling argument. I'm not going to argue. If you're telling me that Bone will get us 30 points every single night, then I am all in on that. Look, Kirk, this was big, not just because they won, not just because they get, like you like to call it, and I've stolen your idea, the mini bye week.
Yes,
you come up with Seattle, you're going to go up
Nobody
there.
complains after the game, right?
No.
I'm still waiting to hear an NFL player complain after the Thursday night game.
Right.
Oh, I don't want to take a weekend off.
Yeah, exactly.
No one complains after the game. They'll complain before. It's a tough stretch. We got to be ready in 4 or 5 days. But all of a sudden, the game over. Everybody's spry.
Everybody's spry, and the Rams have an opportunity in front of them coming up in Seattle a week from Sunday that I don't know felt like was an option. They had to do what they did tonight. We're going to talk about that coming up next. Plus, we will hear from the head coach of the Rams, Sean McVay. It's all straight ahead. Plus your phone calls, 877-710-ESPN. Yeah. 877-710-3776. That's all next on the ESPN LA Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
Escape to Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, a world-class desert oasis just minutes from Palm Springs. Enjoy live entertainment by Cedric the Entertainer, Bachman Turner Overdrive, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, Tony Hitchcliffe, the Black Crows, and more. Book your getaway today at FantasySpringsResort.com.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information, visit talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
710 ESPN, the destination for LA sports this fall.
Here comes LeBron end-to-end slam dunk right in Paul George's face and a foul.
Lakers basketball.
Got it back. Another three. Good. What a night for Austin Reeves.
Rams football.
Cup of the six. Cup to the pylon. Touchdown, Cooper Kupp. Touchdown, LA.
The USC Trojans.
Hands off the marks. Up the middle. Into the end zone. Touchdown. They're going wild in half of this stadium as the Trojans are going to pull off the upset. How do you do?
LAFC.
Oh, flip for LA Football Club. Did he?
The LA Kings and Angels baseball.
The all-new ESPN LA app, your destination for LA sports.
You are never too old for a family. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is dedicated to finding forever families for children who have been waiting in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Don't forget you can hear every moment of Rams football in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Just tap that Rams game day tile, and bam, you got it in the palm of your hand.
Rams Vikings, Week 8, Thursday Night Football is a final.
3rd and goal from the 5. Play clock reads 3. Now it reads 1. Stafford beats the clock. Top of his drop. Throws middle. Caught by Kyren Williams. Sound the siren for Kyren. It's an opening drive touchdown. For the first time this season, LA puts it in the paint in the first quarter. And an extra point can tie it. The 23rd touchdown of Kyron Williams' career. He passes Eric Dickerson for the most by a Ram in the first 20 starts of a career.
And the Rams win tonight at SoFi, beating the Vikings. Rams move to 3-4. We are celebrating right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play, once again. With Kirk Morrison, here is Travis Rodgers.
Whose house?
What a difference a couple of wins
Whose
makes.
house? Oh, man, it's popping in here.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
is.
Look, Kirk, I don't know if you know this or not.
What's up?
People like winners.
They do. They do.
People
They
like
do.
teams that win football games.
Oh, yeah.
The Rams have
People
won 2 in a
smiling,
row.
People pulling money out their pocket. They heading to the
They can
to
go
the
play a little
tables.
cards.
Yeah,
Go have a little
cards there.
time.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
And
have
the
a
football
drink.
gods are on your side. Maybe cards will be on
The
your side.
football gods were definitely on their side at the end. We'll get to that coming up in a minute. You know what I thought we had on our hands for half a second, for about a quarter?
What you got?
I thought we were going to have a little Rams-Kansas City Monday Night Football action.
I felt that.
Prime time,
Right,
LA.
it just prime time game, 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns, and neither team looked like they had a chance of stopping the other one. Sam Darnold didn't throw an incompletion on their first 2 drives. Matthew Stafford took his squad right down the field 2 times in a row, and it's like, okay, first one to 50. And by the way, you know what happened after that? The Rams gave up 6 points.
Yes.
Now, they went and scored another 16,
right,
but they only gave up 6 points. What changed for that Rams defense? How were they able to go from not stopping anybody? It looked like Justin Jefferson was going to have one of those days. They shut him down in the second half.
Yeah, I think that they went in the locker room and they all said, he's not going to gritty tonight. That's what it was. That's pretty much. No gritty tonight.
We didn't see it.
Hey, look at no gritty from Justin Jefferson today. No gritty from Justin Jefferson today. I think, honestly, what they did was they, outside of that first couple of drives of the game, let's be honest, though, Travis, I really thought that the pass rush really increased. I thought the pass rush really started to get to Sam Darnold. He looked comfortable in those opening drives.
Yeah, he did.
And then they went 3 and out, consecutive 3 and outs.
They started to get home. They were
Yes.
they were putting some pressure on him early in the game, but they weren't putting their hands on him. They were making him move his feet a little bit, but once you got into that second quarter, and certainly in the second half, they started to get to him. Jared Verse with a sack and a half, and he really seemed to have a good day today.
Well, because I think the critical moment of that first half is right before the half. And me and you always talk about this. Are you really actively trying to get points? Or, you know what, let me get into halftime and don't let anything happen. There's 42 seconds left. The Vikings have a couple of timeouts. They decide, you know what, we're going to try to push the envelope and go get points. They lose their tackle, Christian Darrisaw.
Yeah.
They're all pro, all everything tackle. He went out of the game, and I promised you, I saw Byron Young, I saw Jared Verse start licking their fingers. Like, barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
Meaning that it is on. And you could tell they both were, who's going to line up on the backup, which was Dan Quisenberry.
Right.
And whoever the backup was, I've been in those situations before, Travis.
Did you see what Verse did to Quisenberry on that second sack? I mean, he put him on roller skates with one little shove to the chest.
Travis, I've literally seen guys on the defensive line see that the swing tackle comes in. He's the backup tackle. I've seen guys fight to line up on that guy. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I've seen guys literally like, no, I'm lining up there right in. But you play left end. No, I'm playing right in.
Not right now, I don't.
So they're doing that, and why are they doing it? Because they get an opportunity to go up against somebody who they feel like, look, not getting the first team reps, and you could tell it was like sharks. Blood in the water, and those guys were coming.
No, and they did, and Jared Verse took advantage of it. Let's try our first phone call. Let's go to E, who is outside of SoFi Stadium. E, you're on the Rams postgame show with Travis and Kirk.
Hey, Travis and Kirk. Yeah, great game. First, I want to say the atmosphere in the stadium was fantastic.
Sure was.
It's the first game I've been to where mostly 80% were Rams fans. The energy was there. Aside from getting Nakua and Kupp back, giving more weapons. It was a great overall victory. You guys have been talking about the first quarter. I thought it was going to be a first one to 50, like you just said. And the Rams defense settled down. And it was just overall the running game was strong. Nakua was great. Cooper, he made a couple of key plays.
Right.
And it was just an overall game that was just must be a definite confidence boost going into the future, having a couple extra days off. I can't wait for the next game for the Rams to gel and get better, because it's the first game with those two guys. It's just going to give them this confidence and this lift, and I can't wait for the future to see, more victories with these Rams. And it really inspired me. And like I said, you had Cypress Hill at the halftime show, local LA fans.
Cypress Hill was going.
Look, whatever it takes. Bone uniforms, Cypress Hill. I'm here for all of it, whatever it is. And look, I think what he was getting at is exactly right, which is namely the Rams, for the first time, it took them 7 games to get here.
Correct.
They played a complete game. Their offense looked sharp, and it looked multiple. It looked like there were a lot of ways that Kyren Williams was good. Matthew Stafford was good. Multiple wide receivers were good. The defense got off the field. They got pressure on the quarterback. They made the kicks that they're supposed to make, and they got a big punt from Ethan Evans at the end to pin the Vikings deep there that set up that final safety. It was a complete game in all 3 phases, something they hadn't done all year long.
Yeah, I'll give E a little pushback, though. There were still a good number of purple and gold fans.
Can I tell you what? I tell you what it is?
What is that?
They're the politest, nicest group of fans that have come through SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Very
just
true.
a super chill group. Like, this was not, let's just say, other fan bases.
We can say it wasn't no Raiders on Sunday. The Raiders lost the game, but they didn't lose the party.
Never do.
They came in here, Hollywood Park. You would have thought the Raiders had won on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's a little Minnesota nice here.
Yeah, it was Minnesota nice in the stands.
It sure
and
was.
It was Los Angeles nice out on the field. So, Kirk, let's come back and let's talk about that what I called earlier in the week a fork in the road. It wasn't a fork in the road. It was T in the road.
T.
And it was either –
Explain to me.
I'll explain it to you when we come back.
I got to go to DMV. What's a T?
From the head coach of the Rams. That's all coming up on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
Gear up and get out to Kelsey's at Pechanga, the top spot in the Temecula Valley to watch all the Monday Night Football action. Dozens of TVs means all your favorite games, plus a M&F food menu fit for the greatest fans. Sliders, loaded tater tots, pulled pork pizza, and a lot more. Plus, you'll find beers on tap and incredible craft cocktails at Kelsey's. Visit Pechanga.com and follow at Pechanga Casino on Instagram for info about special and exclusive NFL team appearances. We'll see you at Kelsey's at Pechanga.
The Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid is about performance. Not just on the road, but in life. With not only trunk space, but room to make memories. It's electric, with a backup plan. Where the only speed that really matters is how fast you can slow down. The Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid. Performance where it matters the most.
Visit your SoCal Volvo retailer during the Sign and Drive event.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf.
Ooh! What about the tiny dog? Cat. Owl. Ooh. Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale.
Whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Don't forget you can hear every moment of Rams football in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Just tap that Rams game day tile, and bam, you got it in the palm of your hand.
Rams, Vikings. Week 8 Thursday Night Football is a final.
The number 3 receiver, Tyler Johnson, goes in motion. Stafford lobs the ball down the right sideline, looking to the end zone. It is caught! DeMarcus Robinson, impossible with a flag down, a contested catch for 6, and it gives the Rams the first lead of Thursday Night Football.
And the Rams win tonight at SoFi, beating the Vikings. Rams move to 3-4. We are celebrating right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play, once again. With Kirk Morrison, here is Travis Rodgers.
Great night to be a Rams fan. 30-20 the final score. The Rams are 3-4 with a chance to get back to 500 a week from Sunday in Seattle. And I want to read something to you. This is an Adam Schefter tweet here just a minute ago, and it reads, Rams head coach Sean McVay to reporters regarding the speculation about a potential Cooper Kupp trade. Quote, I'm really glad to have Cooper Kupp back with us, and I expect it to stay that way. So here's what I was talking about with that T in the road, right?
Okay.
Like a fork in the road, they kind of stay close to one another for a while before they start to get far apart.
Right.
That T, you come to a dead end. You're either going left or you're going right. There is no forward. You're either going over here or over there. A loss tonight, that tweet's not coming out, because Cooper Kupp's name is still very, very much on the block.
I agree.
A loss tonight, and the Rams would be sitting here at 2-5 and probably dead in the water when it comes in the playoff race. The other thing happened, which is the right turn, right? Which is Cooper Kupp is going to be here. That's what that tweet means, which means you got your two guys back, which means you won the game and you're getting closer and closer to getting not just back into the playoff picture with a wild card potentially, but you look at the NFC West in the way that it is right now, nobody has pulled away from the pack. Everybody's bunched together. You look at who the other NFC West teams are playing this week, and I'll give them to you in a second.
Right.
There's a chance by the time the Rams go to Seattle next Sunday, they got a chance to play and maybe be in first place by that point, as weird as that sounds.
Well, what's weird as that sounds, you gave me a lot of anxiety because you give me these forks in the road,
yes.
these T's. For some reason, I'm thinking about driving on the 110 right now, heading to Dodger Stadium. And you know, when you're like, do I go on this lane to get to the 101 North or do this lane to get on the 101 South? Am I going to be back on the 10 freeway? I may find myself on the opposite side of the 5.
You ever drive on the 110 through, like, South Pass?
Yes.
Where it just ends. You have to make a decision, right? Like, you're going in it, and it just ends. You're like, how did I get in the neighborhood? I was on the freeway 5 seconds ago, and then you're just kind of sitting there.
You got me over here nervous. That's one spot I'm like, am I on the 5? Am I not? Am I getting on the 5 North? Am I going this way? Am I going to be in Pasadena or heading towards Santa Ana? You don't know. But I understand that the Rams, they chose the right intersection to go to, right? They chose the right lane because this was a win for them that was much needed because it calmed so many outside noise. The outside noise is what you have to continue to keep answering questions.
Yep.
I don't believe there is not a bone in my body that felt that Matthew Stafford was going to get traded to the Vikings. Let's just think about that for a minute. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? How could Matthew Stafford be traded from the Rams to the Minnesota Vikings? Like, that's just crazy in itself. I get people are looking at the contracts. I get people are saying, okay, Matthew Stafford's available. He's available. To me, Matthew Stafford looked like a Ram, showed you why he's one of the best quarterbacks, but that's the hard part. Is that he showed you he still got it.
Wasn't me. I'll say it again. Wasn't me.
He showed you he still got it.
He's a leader and he's a team player, so he's never going to say it. So I'm going to keep saying it for him. Wasn't me. What do you want me to do with this? You know, there's only so much you can do. Kind of going back to what we talked about. Arizona is on the road in Miami. Tua expected to be back. So the Dolphins, obviously, a much different team there. Buffalo is on the road. They are taking on Seattle. So Seattle has a very tough game coming up. Then, of course, you got San Francisco hosting Dallas. So the NFC West, like we mentioned, wide open at this point.
It's wide open, and you've already know what's in front of you. I feel like you're looking at the San Francisco 49ers. They're not the same 49ers team that came in SoFi in week 2, right?
No.
Think about it. Like, they've lost Brandon Ayuk. Debo Samuel's a little bit banged up. Their offensive line has got some issues. Christian McCaffrey has still not played this season yet. So what looked to be like, oh, man, the toughest test in the NFC West may now be not necessarily the challenge that we thought it may be at that time. Remember, that's a game that – when is that game taking place? Like the last game of the season?
The Rams and the Niners?
Yes.
I think it's week 16.
Week 16. So we got a while.
It's late in the season. Here's the thing. Anybody that tells you that they know that the best team in the NFC West is blank, they're lying to you or they're guessing because who knows?
It's week to week.
They're all bunched together. It's
week.
incredibly week to week at this point. Here's a weird stat for you. Everybody that has played the Detroit Lions loses the next week.
What?
So we're 8 weeks into the season. If you play the Lions, you lose the next week. Guess who played the Lions last week? The Minnesota Vikings.
Is that a weird stat, or is there something to it? Is it just kind of luck that happens?
They beat the snot out of you.
They're biting kneecaps. So your kneecaps got to heal.
Snatching ankles and biting kneecaps.
Especially on a short week for the Vikings.
It is a physical game with the Detroit Lions. Like they and you know what? we keep talking about the physical aspect of it. I think it's a mental game, too.
Yeah.
Especially thinking about what the Detroit Lions do. They've got offensive linemen running routes, okay? They've got trick plays. They got a defense that's hungry, even without Aiden Hutchinson. And they also have a culture that's being built. This was a team that played in the NFC Championship game last year. You have to bring your A game to play them. And then when you get done, it's like, who's next?
Right. Well,
it's a big letdown sometimes.
Maybe we don't know who the best team in the NFC West is. I feel pretty comfortable in saying I know who the best team in the NFC is, and it's Detroit. Like, is it? Yeah, I think so. Who's better than them right now? I'm not saying they're going to be the best at the end. There's a long way to go. Injuries and everything could happen. But through the first 7 weeks, 8 weeks of the season, I haven't seen anybody better.
I agree with you. I think it's Detroit now. But it's something about that Green Bay team that came in here a couple weeks with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
They didn't play their best, but they beat the Rams. One-score game, but there's something about those two on a collision course, which tells me the Rams fighting for a possible wild card.
Look, the Rams have played Detroit and Green Bay, and they didn't get blown out by either one of them. It felt like they had a chance to beat both of those teams. They didn't get it done, so you either win or you lose. We know that. But the Rams are 3-4, and it felt very precarious at different parts. But they've had one real clunker all season long against Arizona. Yeah, it's going to happen to every team in the league. You're going to have one that just doesn't kind of make a whole lot of sense. They are right back smack in this thing with a whole lot of season to go. And the schedule actually is pretty fair. You got Seattle, then you're back home for a Monday night game against Miami. And then you're back. You got New England coming up not that far down the road. They've got some opportunities.
They got some spots there. We'll see what Tua looks like this weekend.
Yeah.
He's going to be back, so we'll see with that. The Rams got some challenges, man. It's going to be fun now, and it's exciting to talk about it because they were dead to water a couple weeks ago, and now there's life back into the Rams, and they're still getting healthy.
All right, let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
All right, you heard him right there. That was Sean McVay, and you are going to hear more from him coming up next. Coach McVay with JB and Maurice Jones-Drew. That's straight ahead on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
Hey, Rams fans. We've teamed up with Bloom Ranch to ensure we have the healthiest fans in the league. That's why we're committed to delivering some of the freshest fruits and veggies to your door. And here's the best part. The first 100 boxes are on us. That's right. We're giving away the first 100 boxes. After that, enjoy 30% off on your first box upon signing up at www.bloomranchofacton.com and enter promo code ThankYouRams. There are no fans like Rams fans. Winning and getting healthier together is the real flex. So hurry. This offer won't last forever. Follow Bloom Ranch on IG and share how you're getting healthier using hashtag BloomRamFit.
Hey, it's me, your heart valve. The blood flowy thing in your heart. Ooh, hear that? The whole stadium's cheering for heart valve screenings? Detecting heart valve disease is super important, especially if you're over 65. It's deadly if you don't treat it. That's right. Boo! Heart valve disease! Boo! Good news is, early detection saves lives. Go to listentoyourvalves.com and get screened for heart valve disease. Oh, and go Rams!
Come watch one of the most iconic rivalries in high school football when the 89th annual East LA Classic comes to SoFi Stadium on Friday, October 25th. The East LA Classic, presented by LA Bowl and hosted by Gronk and the LA Rams, is the homecoming game for both Roosevelt and Garfield High. The game will also feature a special halftime performance by the Black Eyed Peas. Get your tickets now by visiting SoFiStadium.com/events.
Healthcare is full of questions, and for over 80 years, Quidel Ortho has delivered answers. From one season to the next, healthcare teams around the country have trusted our medical diagnostics expertise to help them make winning decisions for their patients. From home to hospital, lab to clinic, we are a key player on patients' medical teams. And here in LA, we are proud to be an official partner of the Los Angeles Rams. Quidel Ortho, changing lives one test at a time. Learn more at QuidelOrtho.com.
Touchdown! Score big savings with the Albertsons or Vons for You app. It's like having a personal quarterback calling the plays on your wallet. Shop smart, save more. Every time you shop, simply enter your number at checkout and watch the savings add up. Earn points for cash off on gas or groceries. Plus get weekly personalized deals to save even more. It's a winning combination. Download the Albertsons or Vons for You app for free today and start scoring touchdowns on your grocery bill. Full program details available on the app or at Vons or Albertsons.com.
Rams fans, welcome to another game day at the Gridiron. After seeing your beautiful automobiles at the tailgate, we're calling an audible so you can save on gas. That's right, Rams fans score big on game days. Save 35 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. That's a touchdown for the tailgate. Download the Shell app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and fill up with the official fuel of the Los Angeles Rams. Restrictions apply. Limited time at participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com/Rams.
Don't forget you can hear every moment of Rams football in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Just tap that Rams game day tile, and bam, you got it in the palm of your hand. This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network and on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Rams, Vikings, Week 8 Thursday Night Football is a final.
Here comes Kupp in motion to balance it out 2-by-2. Stafford has a snap, 4-man rush, pressure in his face, goes out the left side, ducks the rush, flips to the end zone, caught! Cooper Kupp from Matthew Stafford! A primetime edition of 9 and Dime. Oh, the ever-elusive Matthew Stafford ducking the rush of the Vikings and finding his favorite targets. Welcome back, Cooper Kupp. Touchdown, LA.
And the Rams win tonight at SoFi, beating the Vikings. Rams move to 3-4. We are celebrating right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play, once again. With Kirk Morrison, here is Travis Rodgers.
Kirk, I'm not going to lie to you. I did not think we'd be sitting here talking about a 3-4 football team a few weeks ago.
Yep.
When they went into that bye, coming out, it's like, all right, let's see what happens next. You always want to remain optimistic, but that's why I'm not the coach. That's why Sean McVay's the coach. That's why you wait for your guys to come back. That's why you keep fighting. That's why you keep waiting for your best players to come back and do what it is that they do.
All-time winningest coach in Rams history.
How about that? He's 38 years old. He's won more games as the coach of the Rams than anyone ever. That's a pretty good way to do that.
You know who else did it under 40 years old?
John Madden.
Exactly.
John Madden.
He had a pretty good run as well as a head coach. All right, let's listen to the head coach, Sean McVay. He spoke with J.B. Long and Maurice Jones-Drew after the win.
Back at SoFi Stadium where the Rams are victorious, joined by the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams, Sean McVay. Congratulations on a Thursday night victory to get to 3-4. What does this win mean to you and the Rams?
Yeah, no, it was big. I thought our guys were ready to go from the jump. You know, they're just good look in their eye. I know the offense was really challenged to respond against, what's been arguably the best defense in the league. I thought Matthew Stafford was excellent. I thought he got through progression so quickly. I thought Kyron was awesome. The line did a great job. And then, man, it was really nice having Puka and Cooper back. D-Rob makes a couple plays, 2-2. Everybody had their hand in this. Really proud of this group, and now we got to keep it rolling.
Coach, what is it like having your guys back? Getting Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp back?
What do you think?
I mean, I was there on Wednesday. I didn't want to tell everybody. I was kind of eating breakfast while you guys are going through walkthrough. The excitement of the team it just seemed like it was a different type of energy.
There's an energy. You just said it. That energy is authentic. You can't fake it. They were ready to go. They brought a spark to our team. I thought the quarterback really led the way, but, having Puka and Cooper back out there, the rapport and the comfort that he has with them, big time. And then, being able to make some off-schedule plays. The touchdown throw to Cooper Kupp was incredible. Matthew breaking 2 tackles, looking like a young, spry Carlos Alcaraz on the court.
Sean, if you'll allow it, please let us shine the spotlight on you for just a moment. Combining regular season and postseason, your 80th win here tonight. You passed John Robinson as the winningest coach in Rams franchise history. Congratulations.
That's cool.
What does it mean to you?
It means that I've been really fortunate to be around a lot of great players and coaches, and for it to occur on my son's first birthday is pretty cool, too.
How'd you get the game ball?
You know what? Matthew actually gave it back to me. I gave it to Matthew. He ended up going top 10 all-time completions in the NFL, surpassed Dan Marino for 9th all-time. He got the game ball, and then he kind of flipped it around, gave it back to me. But it's special. This is the greatest team sport that there is, and I'm certainly flattered and humbled. And, we got a long way to go this season, but that's really cool. And I felt so supported from this group from the jump when Mr. Kroenke hired me 7.5 years ago, and want to keep doing a great job for them.
Here's to your next 80.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think if he wants 80 more, he's going to get 80 more. I think it's up to him at this point. Not even a little bit surprised that he immediately deflected that. He said, yeah, that's very cool. And then immediately, I've had a lot of really good players, and he talked about Matthew Stafford passing Dan Marino. That's Sean McVay in a nutshell.
Yeah, look, I knew 100% as soon as he presented the question, I almost tried to repeat what I knew he was going to say. And the thing about it, it's not just coach talk for him. He really means that.
I agree.
He really means that. He's like, look, I've been around some great players. You know, Todd Gurley today was at the game. He's a part of that journey for Sean McVay.
I'd like to see the really good coach that had a bunch of bad players. I'd like to see where that person exists because they don't.
You think about Aaron Donald. You know what I mean? You think about even Jared Goff had a lot of hands in these wins. So he realizes he didn't do this by himself. It was a lot of players, a lot of coaches. And today, he knew he was going to get that spark that he wanted to get on the offense, and Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp provided that.
I know that we like to assign some meaning to some stuff after the result has happened, and we go back, oh, maybe it was this that led to that.
Right.
But what he said there when he was talking with those guys, I think is spot on, that they really did come out and look like a different football team from the jump. I know they gave up 2 quick touchdowns, but both times they responded right away. It wasn't give up a touchdown and, a 3-and-out. Give up another touchdown and maybe run a 6 or a 7-play drive and punt it away. They responded to 2 early touchdowns from Minnesota with touchdowns of their own. They were ready to go from the opening kick.
You know why? Because their identity came back. Remember, we've been looking for what's the identity of this team. They didn't have an identity because the identity was on IR. They were activated. Cooper Kupp comes back. Puka Nacua comes back. Let's just be honest. That's the identity of the Rams offense. I get it. Kyron Williams, we want more and more of him. But Kyron only goes when those guys are around. Those guys are available. The running game looked 10 times better.
Different.
And it's like, why, the Rams are running the ball better today. Yeah, because Puka is back. Cooper Kupp is back. Coverages are
They're pulling guys out of the box, and they're blocking. It's both of those things that they're able to do that totally change the running game along the way. And like we've said many times, but it's true, and we're going to keep saying it, they had a complete game in all 3 phases for really the first time all season long. And now with a couple of wins in a row in their pocket, they got a chance to get back to 500 a week from Sunday up in Seattle. And who knows where it goes from there. This is feeling very, very familiar to what we saw last year coming out of the bye. It's like, okay, you beat Cleveland. Yeah, okay, you beat Washington. And then all of a sudden it's just another win and another win and another win. And now they're hot, and they're the team that is playing as well as anybody else. So hopefully we get to see a little repeat of that. There was maybe, I don't know, I didn't see it. Could have gone either way. Maybe a missed call. We'll talk about that coming up next on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams radio network.
Thank you for listening to Rams Vikings, and a Rams win.
Rams football is presented by Call Jacob. A lot of attorneys say they'll fight for you. Call Jacob and he will win for you. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB or visit calljacob.com.
Up next for our LA Rams, Week 9 NFL Sunday, November 3rd, as the 3-4 Rams head to the Pacific Northwest, home of the 12th man, for an NFC West showdown, which will mean a lot against the Seattle Seahawks. Coverage begins at 12 noon, Sunday, November 3rd. We'll talk to you then on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
The fall sales event is going on now at Kia of downtown Los Angeles. Come in now or all month long and take advantage. Lease the dynamic 2024 Kia Forte GT line or check out the new 2025 Kia Sorento EX. They have great lease or purchase deals on all Kia models. New cars are arriving daily. They have a massive selection of traditional gas vehicles and, of course, all their popular hybrid and electric models. Stop in and ask for the general manager, Keon, and get your new Kia at Kia of downtown Los Angeles, just south of Crypto Arena on Figueroa Street, or visit kiaofdtla.com.
The future depends on teachers. Every day, teachers are shaping our tomorrows, starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who will make preventing pandemics their life's work, sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who will help combat climate change, and generating possibilities for a student who will be the first in their family to graduate college. It all starts with teachers who meet challenges with creativity, who reinvent education for the future, who work towards a school system that lifts up every child, regardless of race, income, or zip code, and to enable the full potential of our students our communities, and our country. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Shape the future. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
710 ESPN, the destination for LA sports this fall.
Here comes LeBron end-to-end slam dunk right in Paul George's face and a foul.
Lakers basketball.
Got it back. Another three. Good. What a night for Austin Reeves.
Rams football.
Cup of the 6. Cup to the pylon. Touchdown, Cooper Kupp. Touchdown, LA.
The USC Trojans.
Hands off the marks. Up the middle. Into the end zone. Touchdown. They're going wild in half of this stadium as the Trojans are going to pull off the upset. How do you do?
LAFC.
Oh, flip for LA Football Club. Diddy!
The LA Kings and Angels baseball.
The all-new ESPN LA app, your destination for LA sports.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network and on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Rams, Vikings, Week 8 Thursday Night Football is a final.
Here comes Kupp in motion to balance it out 2-by-2. Stafford has a snap, 4-man rush, pressure in his face, goes out the left side, ducks the rush, flips to the end zone, Caught! Cooper Kupp from Matthew Stafford! A primetime edition of 9 and Dime. Oh, the ever-elusive Matthew Stafford ducking the rush of the Vikings and finding his favorite targets. Welcome back, Cooper Kupp. Touchdown, LA.
And the Rams win tonight at SoFi, beating the Vikings. Rams move to 3-4. We are celebrating right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play, once again. With Kirk Morrison, here is Travis Rodgers.
Whose house?
Rams house.
Whose house?
30-20, the final score from SoFi Stadium. The Rams pick up
Yeah.
their third win of the season. And Kirk, 3-4.
Yep.
Feels like you could still get to 9 or 10 wins without something really weird having to happen. You just got to play pretty good football for the rest of the way. Right. You do have some opportunities there, and they just today was their season. Now they got to continue to play well. They got to continue to get healthier. You want to get those offensive linemen back that you've been missing, but today was. You know, we use the phrase all the time. It's a must-win here. It's a must-win there. And very rarely is that true.
It's true, right.
But it did feel like tonight had added significance beyond just, okay, this is the Week 8 game. It's your 7th game of the season. This potentially keeps Cooper Kupp in Los Angeles for the rest of the season. Maybe keeps Cooper Kupp in Los Angeles for the remainder of his career. Matthew Stafford. Who knows what would have happened had this game gone in a different direction?
Yeah, it's so many pieces to this game that you want to analyze and say, wow, by them winning, this is what happens. This is now something that you can kind of build on. I think also, too, I'm always looking at the NFL in a different lens, that each week is a different week, and you got to take it that way.
Isn't that the truth?
It's just – so I'll just put it in perspective for people, really. You look at the Minnesota Vikings. They go 5-0. Everything's going great for them. They're perfect. They lose to their division rival, the Detroit Lions, at their own place. Then they lose 5 days later to the Rams.
2-14.
To a 2-14, the Rams. So now they're 5-2. They lost 2 in a row, and then they lose their starting left tackle.
Yeah.
And now they got to get on the plane and head back to Minnesota. Now scratching, looking for answers. The Rams start off 1-4.
And the Vikings in probably the toughest division in football right now.
Correct.
They might have 4 playoff teams. I mean,
exactly.
It's not totally out of the realm of possibility that all 4 of those teams go to the postseason.
Think about the Rams. They go 1-4. They get a bye week. You talked about the fork in the road, the T in the road. They win back-to-back games. They're getting healthy. Cooper Kupp in Puka Nakua come back. 3-4 almost sounds better than 5-2.
Yeah.
You think about the story of the two teams.
It's really
playing
wild,
tonight.
Kirk. The parallels between last year and this year are really getting more and more. You're stacking one on top of the other. Last year,
Correct.
it was you got Matthew Stafford back coming out of the bye, and you look like a different team. This year, coming out of the bye, not exactly the very next game, but the game after that, you get Nakua and Kupp back. You get a big win against the Vikings. You got a chance coming up against Seattle, and then after that, you get the Dolphins here at home on a Monday night. You go to New England. New England does not look like a very good football team at this point. And then it gets a little more challenging. You got Philadelphia at home, Sunday Night Football, on the road with the Saints, and then home for the Bills. And you got the Niners, Jets, Cards, and Seahawks to close it out. But you can get back to 500, and I know I've said it a million times. 9 wins could win this division.
Correct.
If you said 10 is going to either win the division or get you a wild card, and that feels very possible at this point.
Yeah, so you're just trying to find where do the Rams get 6 more wins at. Yeah. That's the goal, is trying to find 6 more wins. Remember also, too, as you get later in the season, later on that schedule, also there's some teams who may not be the same. They could be playing for something different. The trade deadline's in a couple weeks. Who knows what some of these teams may look like down the stretch. New Orleans Saints, they're trying to figure it out. They're starting a different quarterback. Buffalo, I mean, look, they look to be – it's going to be a big test for the Rams for sure, but I just think about the NFC teams. Those are the ones that I care about the most for the Rams, because if they don't win the division, they should be in the fight for definitely a wild card spot.
All right, I want to come back and I want to talk about my least favorite topic in the NFL, instant replay, because I don't get it. And I'm going to let you try to talk to me about it. But
I got you.
I don't get it. I know that the rules were followed. I just don't get why it goes the way that it goes. That's coming up next. Travis and Kirk on the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS Top Safety Picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson and Tucson Hybrid. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer. Offers end October 31st. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Rams Vikings, Week 8, Thursday Night Football is a final.
3rd and goal from the 5. Play clock reads 3. Now it reads 1. Stafford beats the clock. Top of his drop. Throws middle. Caught! Caught by Kyren Williams! Sound the siren for Kyren! It's an opening drive touchdown. For the first time this season, LA puts it in the paint in the first quarter. And an extra point can tie it. The 23rd touchdown of Kyren Williams' career. He passes Eric Dickerson for the most by a Ram in the first 20 starts of a career.
And the Rams win tonight at SoFi, beating the Vikings. Rams move to 3-4. We are celebrating right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play, once again. With Kirk Morrison, here is Travis Rodgers.
Who's hot?
All right, Kirk. I understand.
Yes.
That the play was not reviewable.
Correct.
I understand that it went the Rams' way. I'm happy it went the Rams' way. I'm happy they won the game. I think the Rams would have won the game regardless. Here is my case of why instant replay needs to just be, we're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
If the purpose is to get calls on the field right, and there is clearly a play that should be officiated one way and it's not, and it's not by anybody's ill will. It's just they missed it. Nobody sees it, but it's clear as day. Sam Darnold is face masked in the end zone on the safety when Byron Young gets. Even Byron Young put his hands on his helmet like, I can't believe I just did that.
Right.
And there's no call. I know it's unreviewable by rule. I understand that. I'm not saying. But if we're going to have replay, aren't those the sorts of plays that's like, guys, we made a mistake. We didn't see it. Clearly a face mask. First down, Minnesota. All right, here we go again. I don't understand why we have it if it's not to fix that.
I think it's just always opening Pandora's box. Are we going to start reviewing every single call? Like, this was one call that you say, hey, they missed it. New York can take a look at it and have an expedited replay.
But isn't it a scoring play, and therefore all scoring plays should be reviewed?
That's a great point by you, but at the same time, what are you reviewing, though? You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, there should have been a penalty on that play. You're on a scoring play. You're reviewing what?
Whether or not
it was scored. Whether or not Sam Darnold had the ball in possession when he went down.
You're both right. But again, at the crux of this,
yes,
it's to fix obvious mistakes.
Correct.
The rule was not put in to, hey, that ball wiggled for a fraction of a millisecond of a frame in high def, incomplete pass. That's not what it's for. It's for that. And I get it. It went the Rams' way tonight, and I'm thrilled because you're going to get some, you're going to miss some along the way. But if we can't fix the most obvious problems, get rid of it all and just have them call it on the field, and nothing's reviewable. And we'll just keep it moving. That's fine too.
Let's just be honest. No one cares. Nobody really cared.
The Vikings probably care tonight.
The Vikings care, but that's one team. We'll forget about it in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
The NFL was more worried about doing what? Trying to keep your butts in seats by trying to make the kickoff more fun, more exciting,
how's that
which
gone?
has now been one of the worst rule changes in NFL history, I would say. The kickoff is just glorified touchback.
We already saw when the Rams were also on the benefit of another bad call,
Correct.
but that they reversed. They did a whole change where they got reviewed on PI, and
that didn't work either.
It was a knee-jerk reaction. You remember that? People don't realize it was a knee-jerk reaction. It was a bad call, and they immediately tried to make up a rule for that.
Yeah.
Remember when pass interference was reviewable?
Yeah,
for 1 year.
Was challengeable.
And it never
you can't
worked.
do that.
Every time they'd review it, it's like, now we're just going to leave it.
So he kind of pushed him, but he did.
Because they're not going to police themselves.
Get rid of it.
Let's be honest.
Do you want to hear what they have to say about it?
Yes, please.
So
what's
they
the
did a
pool
pool
report?
and Trey Blake was asked about, what they thought, what they saw in that play. He said, well, on that play, the quarterback was facing the opposite direction from me, so I did not have a good look at it. I did not have a look, and I did not see the face mask being pulled, obviously. The umpire had players between him and the quarterback, so he did not get a good look at it. He was blocked out as well, so that was the thing. We did not see it, so we couldn't call it. We couldn't see it. Is that play reviewable? It's not reviewable.
Yeah, great. Fix it anyway.
Yeah,
I get it. There's somebody in the way.
Correct.
I didn't see it. You didn't see it.
Every camera saw it.
Everybody in the stadium saw his helmet, Sam Darnold's head snap around to the side. It didn't do that for fun. Something must have grabbed it.
Well, I would say the snapshots that I've seen from the official's vantage point, it is very difficult to see if he grabbed the face mask. I think it's a judgment call, and for us, I give them the benefit of the doubt. Travis, I actually went to an officiating camp before. It's a lot more difficult. I give them a total ton of credit for what's going on.
I am not criticizing the guys for missing it. I understand where they can miss it and not see it. I'm saying if we've got cameras every 6 inches in a stadium, let's use them.
I think this is where I'm going to throw it back to you because I've heard some other things about baseball, but the NFL also wants to keep the human element involved with the judgment call and not having to always go to replay and do. They want to keep things expedited and moving forward, and not everything have to be reviewable. Like, oh, I'm review. Because I saw in baseball is trying to do what? Have the robo balls and strikes, and you can contest a robot call. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the part where
objective.
Yes. where are we going to go? When do we stop? When do we
get
cut
rid of it all?
Right.
So you can't do some of it, but not all of it.
Right.
You're either going to do it all, or you should do none of it. That's my argument. It's that we've started this thing. It hasn't really fixed the problem for in any meaningful way. So, hey, look. Who cares? The Rams win.
The Rams win anyway.
They moved to 3-4
Yes,
with a 30-20 win. Up next, the Seattle Seahawks. Let's take a look at the rest of the schedule. What's coming up the rest of and those NFC teams in particular, and how the Rams can crawl back into this way sooner than I think a lot of people might have thought. That's all coming up next on the Rams postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Next Gen is the official plumbing, heating, and AC company of SoCal sports fans. For just $14.99 a month, enjoy year-round coverage for all your plumbing, heating, and AC needs. No unexpected timeouts, just total peace of mind. As a Next Gen member, you get complimentary multi-point tune-ups, annual water heater flushes, plumbing safety inspections, and VIP 2-hour priority service. Don't miss out. Call 833-3-NEXGEN today or visit nextgenaaronplumbing.com.
NEXGEN, call 833-3NEXTGEN.
Transitioning out of the military, it's difficult. Just about everything around you changes. I would get phone calls that brothers were dying, some of them to suicide. And I'd found myself in another cold cemetery. And I started to wonder if I was next. It's a struggle to know that you're facing challenges, but not be ready to face them. Sleep doesn't come easy. And when it comes, it doesn't last long. You're tired all the time. I didn't reach out for that help, but thank God my wife did. She got me registered for Wounded Warrior Project. Talking to somebody that would listen to me and understood my story helped me realize that it was time to change. There's a new fight, there's a new mission, and that's something I'm eternally grateful for.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
I got bad stink.
Who doesn't?
My
Fresh
wife
as a
does not
daisy.
stink after workout, and it makes me mad.
Well, nobody gets better smelling.
I
after
get
their work.
kicked out of the car. Like, Dad, you got to get out.
Are you like a hockey goalie situation?
It's bad. Yeah, it's the shoes or something. I got bad stink. Yeah.
It's Trav and D-Farr.
Back tomorrow morning after Greeny on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
The black and gold are back in the playoffs, and ESPN LA wants you to be there too. LAFC are making a run at their third straight MLS Cup final, and the playoff run starts Sunday.
Congratulations, Sergeant. Good luck in the playoffs.
So much. Let's go. Listen Friday during Travis and DeMarco and Mason in Ireland for your chance to win tickets.
BMO Stadium is rocking for the black and gold.
LAFC Playoff Ticket Friday on 710 ESPN.
Rams, Vikings, Week 8 Thursday Night Football is a final.
The number 3 receiver, Tyler Johnson, goes in motion. Stafford lobs the ball down the right sideline, looking to the end zone. It is caught! DeMarcus Robinson, impossible with the flag down, a contested catch for 6, and it gives the Rams the first lead of Thursday Night Football.
And the Rams win tonight at SoFi, beating the Vikings. Rams move to 3-4. We are celebrating right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play, once again. With Kirk Morrison, here is Travis Rodgers.
Kirk, I like what you said, that nobody complains about the Thursday night game once it's over. Like, leading up to it, we got a short week, body don't know, get on a tough time
Coaches,
to
players?
get right. Everybody complains until it's over, and then you get a weekend off.
Yeah.
So the Rams are going to enjoy their weekend off, maybe a little bit more than the Minnesota Vikings, but a full slate of games starting on Sunday as well. Let's talk about this one. This is where the Rams are going to head next. The Bills are in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. The Seahawks just picked up a former Ram player, Ernest Jones. They made a deal with the Tennessee Titans, so this is the third team for Ernest Jones this season.
Third team in 3 months.
Yeah.
Less than 3 months
Yeah.
for Ernest Jones. The Rams were not going to pay a middle linebacker. That's just something that they weren't going to do. He was traded over to the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee thought they were a linebacker away from really making noise.
Nope.
And They're off to a 1-5 start, and when you're 1-5, everything must go. So it's an estate sale over in Nashville.
Yeah, they should have put Ernest Jones at quarterback and see how that worked
was
out.
Was Ryan Tannehill that bad, and was Vrabel that bad? No. Why did the Titans do that?
Well,
that's a very good question.
Well, I'll answer it in a Rams-centric way. We're seeing the Rams in their first transition year without Aaron Donald. It's going to be some bumps in the road, but we're seeing a young defense today. We just talked about that had 3 sacks today between Byron Young, Michael Hoyt, and also Jared Verse. So you're getting the production slowly but surely, but life without Aaron Donald is hard. It's difficult.
It sure is.
Life without Derrick Henry, it may be worse in Tennessee.
Yeah,
think about it. At
Baltimore
least
seems to enjoy his presence.
Yeah, at least you knew when you played Tennessee, you may not get the best quarterback play, but if you got to deal with Derrick Henry, this may be a problem. Life without Derrick Henry is probably harder for that franchise than maybe not saying, look, you wish you had Aaron Donald, but there is a plan in place to fill the void that he's left. But, man, Tennessee got more problems than that.
Yeah, they sure do. The top games of the week are brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Falcons are in Tampa to take on the Bucs. And, you know, obviously there's an NFC South matchup right there. Former Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris coaching the Falcons. Former Ram quarterback Baker Mayfield quarterbacking the Bucs. But the Bucs are missing their 2 wide receivers. You know, Chris Godwin suffered a really tough injury on Monday Night Football. Mike Evans is expected back at some point this season, but not by this weekend. So they're going in there. We just saw what the Rams had to go through for the first 6 weeks of the season without their 2 wide receivers. Same thing going to happen to Bucs?
Yeah, it's like, oh, no, like, what are the Buccaneers going to do? We just lost our 2 wide receivers. And all of a sudden, you see Matthew Stafford over in the window. Just kicking in.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, come here. Look what I've been dealing with the first half of the season. This is all going to be on Baker Mayfield. This is the reason why you paid him the contract, the big bucks, to be your guy. And they say that they're not going to be a team that's going to be active in trading or looking to trade or upgrade that position. A lot of the players who may be available have already been gone already. You know, Devontae Adams is gone. Amari Cooper's already been traded. We saw DeAndre Hopkins now get traded over from Tennessee. He is now a Kansas City Chief. So I don't know where they go from here. It's going to be a difficult road. The only thing that I think may be the saving grace, I don't think anybody similar to the NFC West.
Carolina's not going to do it.
Nobody's
New Orleans
away.
not going to do it.
No.
Yeah.
So it may be a 2-team race. That crazy to think that this could be a precursor to how this division plays out between these 2 teams.
You just mentioned his name a second ago. Real quick, let's talk about DeAndre Hopkins going from Tennessee to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. I don't think there's any doubt about how that game is going to play out, other than the NFL gets weird sometimes. But what does DeAndre Hopkins do for that Kansas City team? Because they've been winning games with their defense and by just playing pretty good football, but this is not the Kansas City offense that we've seen over the last several years.
Yeah, but I think that we keep focusing on the offense, and we should be focusing on the defense. We should be focusing on, this is a team that knows how to win games. You know what I mean? Like, they do it whether it's on special teams, whether it's on defense. The more and more I watch this team, I'm like, that's championship culture, though.
Yeah,
you know
it sure
what I mean?
is.
And if you say that the worst thing to them right now is that our offense isn't playing great, they still got 8, 9, 10 more weeks to get things fixed. You bring in a DeAndre Hopkins as a guy who's hungry, looking for a championship. This is only a team that can only get better.
You know what's a good problem to have?
What's that?
People tell you you're not playing well and you're 6-0.
Yeah?
That's a good problem to have.
Because it's not like the Super Bowl's next week.
No, I was going to say, hey, you're not playing yet. Yeah, cool. We haven't lost yet. So if this is the floor of what they have, that's very good news for them. Speaking of, Matthew Stafford threw 4 touchdown passes tonight. Big breakout game for the Rams to get to 30 points for the first time all season, season high. We will hear from him coming up next on the Rams Postgame Show on 710 ESPN.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS Top Safety Picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson and Tucson Hybrid. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer. Offers end October 31st. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans, it's a story that rings true. We learn to endure the heat in silence. We apply what we learn to life, the bills, the job, the family, things we're expected to handle with ease. When life heats up around us, we just try to stay afloat. We let the water boil. Reaching out isn't easy, but you've never been interested in easy. You join because you are not afraid of hard work. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait until the water boils. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way.
To get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
What would you have done, say you're getting ready to take a nap at and there's a snake in the doctor's
I would
dugout?
freak out. If it's me and I see a snake, I'm going to freak out. I don't like snakes.
Yeah.
I hate snakes, and my oldest daughter has 2 pet snakes.
Oh, like
yeah. One of them's name
pythons?
is Udon.
Like the noodle?
Like the noodle.
It's Trav and D4.
Back tomorrow morning after Greeny on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
This is the Rams postgame show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network and on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Rams, Vikings, Week 8 Thursday Night Football is a final.
Here comes Kupp in motion to balance it out 2-by-2. Stafford has a snap, 4-man rush, pressure in his face, goes out the left side, ducks the rush, flips to the end zone, caught! Cooper Kupp from Matthew Stafford! A primetime edition of 9 and Dime! Oh, the ever-elusive Matthew Stafford ducking the rush of the Vikings and finding his favorite targets. Welcome back, Cooper Kupp. Touchdown, LA.
And the Rams win tonight at SoFi, beating the Vikings. Rams move to 3-4. We are celebrating right now on the Rams postgame show, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play, once again. With Kirk Morrison, here is Travis Rodgers.
Kirk, you've heard me say it a million times.
What's that?
I think one of the things that professional athletes do better than regular guys like me, never mind the physical stuff you guys can do. That's different. Nobody can play in the NFL like you can. But the ability to compartmentalize.
Yes.
The ability to take on a task that is in front of me. I don't care what happened before. I'm not worried about what might happen next. I'm worried about what's in front of me right now.
Yeah.
And to buy into the present. It really did feel like the Rams knew that if today didn't go a certain way, the present was going to go in a very different direction. That I know that you guys are really good at focusing on what's right in front, but I have a hard time believing that there wasn't a guys. If we want to keep this thing together, we got to take care of business tonight because we're not going to get another chance to do it if we don't win.
Yeah, it bought more time. And I remember last week JB telling us the Rams needed to just win 2 of their next 3.
Yeah.
Well, they won 2 out of the next 3. And now they sit at 3-4. And now they have the Seattle Seahawks upcoming, and you're going to be coming off a sort of a mini bye. It's a huge game because it gets you back to 4-4 if you're able to win.
Yep.
Now everything is in front of you. Your first half of your season, 4-4, you would take that through your first 8 games, knowing what you need in that back half of the schedule. I also throw this out there as well. This is a team that you've got 10 plus new players that you draftees and guys who are on the team. They weren't here last year. I get a lot of people always say very similar to last year. Well,
new team.
It's a new team. Every year is a new team, and you don't want to go down that road. Trust me. I make one bad right turn during traffic. I'm never going down that road again. I don't want to do that road again.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a different road to go down.
Never again.
I think that's what the Rams are going through right now. It's like, hey, last year was difficult. Do we want to put ourselves in that situation, or now take care of the games that we know we can take care of?
What they have is a quarterback who's got his weapons back. They got a quarterback that threw 4 touchdowns tonight, 2 to Demarcus Robinson, 1 to Cooper Kupp, 1 to Kyren Williams, who scored for the 10 consecutive games, I should say. The quarterback of the Rams, Matthew Stafford, spoke after the game.
It's hard to win football games in the NFL. Obviously, the Vikings are a really, really good football team, really talented on both sides of the ball. So anytime you come away with a win, especially at home, it was nice to get a win at home. And against a good team like that, it's a big one.
The first touchdown to Demarcus, can you describe what you saw in that?
The go ball?
One place to throw that ball.
Yeah, the go ball? Yeah. It was kind of a, designed little choice route inside for Cooper. But to be honest with you, something in the huddle before the snap, I'm like, hey, D-Rob, they'd be live on this, and it just felt like we might get catch man coverage. They've been doing a bunch of show man, drop the zone the whole game, trying to keep it in front of them, and I felt like they might get aggressive there, and they did, and then he did a hell of a job going and making a play. That's what D-Rob does. He makes plays for us, and when his number's called, he made it tonight.
Now you have a lot of confidence in all of your receivers, but what was it like to know going into the game you were going to have Puka and Cooper?
That was great. It's what you envisioned. When training camp started, and it's nice to have those guys back. I said it earlier, but I really do think it was great for our entire team. Great for our offense. Obviously, I was so happy and proud for those guys to be back out on the grass with us, but also really big for our defense, our special teams. Everybody feels that when those guys are back in. So they're 2 great players, and we're happy to have them.
What's that mean?
It's humbling. All of these, are. It's grew up loving this game. Such a big fan of the game. Such a big fan of the NFL sport. All the people that paved the way for us to play it now. So nothing but respect for all the guys that did it before me, and being able to be in that same breath is a special thing for me.
What's going through your mind? Couple more guys. Touchdown to Cooper.
Excuse me?
As you escape the
Yeah, I said it. Fear is a hell of a motivator, So 2 guys in the backfield. Our guys did a great job up front, all night. And honestly, on those plays, you're not going to win every pass that you have. Just keep fighting, keep pushing, keep straining. And they did. Gave me a little spot to kind of wiggle through, and then Cooper did a hell of a job getting lost in the back of the end zone. That was a huge play for us.
Hey, Matt, to get 2 wins in a 5-day stretch, does that feel like you turn around the way that the guys are feeling and the celebration? I don't know. It's a small sample size.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at that Neanderthal behind you. Look at this guy. That beard is something. Don't even remember what your question was. But 2 wins in 5 games. 2 wins in 5 days. I got it. No, it's great. We came back from the bye. Said every streak kind of starts at 1. We got 1 and didn't play our best ball. But got the win. Found a way to win it. Played a really good, complete game tonight. Both sides of the ball against a good football team. Won a game. It's a nice start.
2 wins in 5 days is always a good thing. It has saved the Rams' season. They got a chance to get back to 500. They got a chance to get back in the NFC West race with another win next week. A week from Sunday in Seattle against the Seahawks. Kirk and I will be there for that one on the pregame show. You have been listening to the Rams postgame show after a 30-20 Rams win at SoFi Stadium over the Minnesota Vikings on 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN, the destination for LA sports.